I was going to be sewing on this video 5, but turns out I forgot about the bodice lining. So I wanted to mention something about the bodice lining, and that is that I threw it in with that beautiful swirled fabric that I have for the bodice, and it turned this white fabric to a light blue. You can't see it in the film. It doesn't pick it up because it's just very lightly tinted, but I wanted to mention it because it's something that you want to keep in mind if I didn't want it to turn this shade of blue. That would have been a problem. So you would, if you were dealing with fabric that wasn't on the inside, you would want to wash your brightly colored fabric separately, maybe several times until it stopped bleeding, and you could test it to see if it's bleeding by throwing in a scrap of fabric. So the directions, step 1 for dress C is on page 3 of 4, and we're going to fold the tie end, and then we're just going to stitch, leaving one end free, the end that doesn't have markings, and trim the seam allowances. So I've got my tie-in folded in half, and there are 2 of these. This is the first one I'm doing, and I'm just going to blast it with some steam and iron it flat. Alright, in case you haven't wound a bobbin or it's been a while, you just stick your thread through there, and then we'll put it up here on the machine, and I'm going to push this over like that. I'm going to hold the tail of the thread end, and then the spool, I'm going to put it on here. And I could have done that first. I'm going to send it under here and around here. There we go. There we go. And now I can lift that up. Turn on my machine and pause. I just needed to snip that thread. Okay, my bobbin's full, so it actually stops automatically. See, if I try to press it again, it won't go. This thing is checking for the thickness, and I'm gonna move it on. I'm gonna take it off, cut it. Oh, I have to pull it over to the side before I pull it off. Pull it off, take it down here, and I'm gonna put it in here. So I cut the thread here, and I'm going to put it in the bobbin case like that, and then pull it down like that, and around and in there. And now I can turn it over, and I grab my little handle there. I'll open this back up, and it goes. You can see it fits right in there. when it fits in there, it won't twirl around. I'm going to finish threading this machine here, so I've gotten it on here and through here. Next thing I need to do is use the turning dial over here and turn it until this is in the highest position. So that's the highest position right there. Now I can take my thread and go down and around and up and around and down again and then back. So back here. Alright, I'm going to get the thread to catch onto there and then come down into the needle, but I need 2 hands. So I finished, I put it around this piece right here and it comes down, it's through the needle, and then it goes in between the space on the foot and it's going down through that and then out back here. The reason why I wanted to go over threading is because it is one of the most common ways that you can have a problem when you're sewing the fabric layers together. So if you ever do see problems when you're sewing, that's the first thing you want to do is just rethread your machine. Alright, now I'm turning the hand wheel in this thread right here, some tension on it, and I'm going to turn the hand wheel, tug, until I get this bobbin thread here to come up. And there we go. I'll take these to give me a little assist, and you can see it pulls right on through. And now I can close this up, and now we're ready to sew. Alright, I forgot to put this back on. There we go. Alright, so I put my foot down, I lined up the edge of the fabric with that hole over there, and there we go. Whoops. I had my dial on zigzag. I'm going to move it over to, so always check your settings before you start. And my length of my stitch needs to go to a 3, and this doesn't matter because I'm not doing zigzag right now. My tension should be on 4, so it looks like I was basting the last time I used the machine. Okay, right here at the corner, I'm going to turn the hand wheel one time, and I left it, the needle and the fabric, I left it in the down position, so it'll be an anchor while I turn. And I'm actually going to back up because it looks like I'm not going to be able to line it up over there, so I'll turn it back, put it back down, do a reverse stitch, put it back down, and that's much better. Okay, so I made it all the way to the end, and I turned it like I was about to stitch, but I actually just need to sew off the fabric. I'm going to trim the seam allowance on there all the way down. So to turn this from the outside to the inside, I put a safety pin in here, and then I'll use that to assist me. Okay, so I got it started a little better. Okay. Okay, so I was able to turn it all the way, and I just was able to release the tension on the pin and slide it out from where it had been pinned in there, and I'll just slide it all the way out till it's out of the tie. So I have put my scissors inside of my tie, and I'm just pushing it all the way down until I get to the end, and I'm just pushing the corners out to make them a little sharper. There we go. I've ironed it flat, and doesn't that look nice? Oh, earlier I said it didn't matter what the width was, because I was sewing straight stitch, and that's true to a degree, but like here I wanted to go back over, this is the second, I wanted to go back over the end because I didn't back stitch when I first started, so I wanted to make sure that that was nice and strong right there. But when I put it back down under the machine, I was trying to line up this stitch with the space in between the feet. Well, since my needle's all the way on the 5, the needle is all the way over to the left, and so it makes it a little harder to line that up. So I did stitch that in there, and I can tear it off and everything, but I'm going to adjust this to 0. And let's see, I think that puts it right in the middle. Yep, that looks good. So the directions advise us to baste the raw edge of the tie-in together, so I'll do that. Does seem like such a small area that won't flap around much, but if I haven't made something before, I try to follow as much as I can. And I haven't done the tie-ins on these before. Alright, step number 3. On the outside, pin the tie-ins to the side edge of the bodice back. That's piece number 13. Matching circles and having raw edges even, based. Okay, so they wanted me to match the circles, which you see my faint red big circle, and my crisscross one is over here. But the thing is since I made those markings on the wrong side of the fabric, I can't see them on here, but I know that they were about right here and about right here. And if I really wanted to double check, I'd get out that pattern piece, and I'd use some chalk, and I'd make marks right here in the seam allowance. But I am going to just center this over it like so. And that's going to work out beautifully. It now wants me to baste again. So, there we go. The next step is to stitch the bodice front to the bodice back of the shoulders. So I will take my shoulder right here, and I'll line it up with the bodice front, and I'll put that on under the machine. Alright, so I've got it lined up, and I'm going to stick a couple of pins in it so it doesn't slip around. So I'm over here at the machine, and I'm lining the fabric up with my big dot there. Put my presser feet down, and then I'll do a little, see this button right here? It lets me do a back stitch, so I'm going to press that down and do a little back stitch, and then I'll just keep sewing. As I'm sewing before I get to the needle, I'm going to pull this out, and I have a little wrist thing that I can stab it into as I'm going, so I don't lose needles. That concludes video 5. On video 6, I will finish putting the bodice together.